This is James here for another episode of my tutorial series on how to create your own scripted scenario historical battle. So in the last few episodes I've explained what all of the tables that make up a scenario battle are. We've gotten our own map onto the battlefield and we've chosen what weather we want. We've fixed the grass bug. We've shrunk the playable area of the map and moved it back a bit so the players can't use this ford. Now to do the fun bit and actually get some units on the battlefield. Because at this stage, all we have is one unit of Western Auxilia Palantina, and all that the enemy has is one unit of Eastern Auxilia Palantina, and they're both spawned on top of each other. So, let's get the ball rolling. First thing we want to do is to exit to the desktop. This is because, as I've said, I'm making a mod for the Dawnless Days. So, we want to launch this mod alongside the Dawnless Days. So let's do that. While that's happening, let's go to our scenario battle generator. And let's start inputting all of the data that we want into our faction table and our units table, and we're also going to do that for the other side as well. So we can get this faction key from the factions table, and we can get the units key from the land units table. And let's just pretend I've done all that, and I'll open up the one that I have actually done. Bit of a and you can see here, I've made it so the player will play as Rohan. And these are the units that they're going to have in their army. So the player has 21 units to play with. You can see here that the game has automatically generated the script name for these units. You can also see here that there's a column called Hide Units Pre-Battle, and these 5 units are ticked. So what this means is that when you start the battle, the player won't be able to see that they've got these units to control. So in this instance, these are going to be reinforcements that arrive to save the day. But I want it to be a surprise for the player, and they won't know that they're coming. Down here, you can see that the enemy is going to play as Isengard, and these are all of the units at their control. They've got 21 units, and quite a lot of them are going to be hidden pre-battle, so that the player only thinks they're up against 11 units, but then another 18 will trickle in during the course of the battle. So once you've gotten your faction and all of your units are in this table, and you've ticked which ones are going to be hidden pre-battle or not, you want to come down here and you want to click Are you ready to generate the battle.xml? And you want to change this to yes. You now want to go to your battle.xml file and you want to download this. You also want to do the same with the declarations.lua file. Go download. Now we'll Alt tab out and we'll open up our downloads folder over here on the right. We're also going to open up our script folder and we'll open up the our battle.xml and our old versions over here on the left, and then we'll open up the new versions which we're going to override them with. So here we've got our declarations.xml, declarations.lua, the new one. We'll copy all of that, we'll paste it in here, and we'll save, and we'll close that. Then we'll do the same with the battle.xml, and the battle.xml, save that. And now, let's open up Total War Attila. And we'll go to Historical Battles, and we can see my battle here. And now you can see here that you can't see many of the enemy's units, which is exactly what we wanted. And the same here for the player's side, you can't see the last 5 units of cavalry. Now we'll open that up, and you can see that every single unit has spawned on top of each other down here, which makes it a very laggy mess. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll out a bit, and we're going to grab all of these units, and we'll just plonk them there, and we'll grab all of these units, and we'll just plonk them there. Now, as you can see, we can place our units anywhere we want within the playable area pre-battle, except for this unit here, which is actually underwater. You can see it there. Now, we can't move this unit. You can see a little red X on my cursor and hear the noise. This is because this unit has the guerrilla deployment trait, which you can see here, and if we click on it, you can see it down here. Now, guerrilla deployment normally lets the unit deploy outside of the deployment zone. However, if we go to our Battle XML, you can see that the player can deploy absolutely anywhere. Their deployment area is 4,000 by 4,000. If we scroll down to the enemy, you can see that the enemy's deployment area is also 4,000 by 4,000. So they both overlap, and units with guerrilla deployment simply don't know what to do. So you've got a choice here. You can either delete the unit entirely, you can replace it with another unit just for the time being, or you can edit the unit's attributes to remove guerrilla deployment. Whichever you do is up to you. For now though, we're going to set up these units here. We're going to put these ones into a control group, these guys into a control group, and these guys into a control group. So these guys here are the main force of cavalry that the player will start with. And I want it to be as though they've been riding out across the ford and they're going up this road to investigate what's happening up here. So I want them in column formation. So I'm going to go down to formation and I'm going to click column. Then I'm going to roughly position them on this road. And these guys back here aren't quite positioned properly, so we're going to put them in column formation as well. And we're going to position them like that, and you know, it's all right. It's not perfect, but it's all right. Now this unit group, these guys are going to be defending this ford, so we want them something like this. With the we'll do the axes on the very outside, then the spears, and the swords and the axes. And we'll position them something like that, so they're guarding this crossing. And then we'll add the unit of infantry, the unit of archers behind them. So these guys are guarding this approach. Now finally, we come to the reinforcement cavalry. And again, we want them in column formation. And we want it as though these guys are coming from this corner of the map to save the day. So we want to position them something like that. That looks all... whoops. That looks all right. So it's as though they're riding out from this corner of the map. Actually, let's not quite that angle. Let's oops. There we go. Like they're coming from that angle. And these guys are riding out to save the day. Now, what do we do now? We've got all of our units where we want them. So now what we need to do is we click Start Battle. Then we wait for the cutscene to end, or we can just click Escape to skip it. Now we wait a few seconds, then we click Pause. Now let's Alt-Tab out, and we'll go to, from our Downloads folder, we'll click on our Data folder, and we'll click on this file here, called Historical Battle Camera Log. Sorry, we're back. I made a little mistake in the script, which I've fixed up. You won't run into that issue. So you can see here that the unit log, the Historical Battle Cutscene and Unit Position script has been generated. You can see that it was generated 3:30 PM, which is pretty much now. It might have been generated a minute or two ago. and it has the position, the x coordinates, the y coordinates, the orientation, and how far out a unit is stretched, for example, like that, of every unit. So if we concede defeat and we go back to the main menu, we can highlight this entire log here, and we'll go back to our scenario battle generator. Now we want to click on unit coordinates, and we want to click just to the left of where it says faction 1, and we want to paste this in so that everything is pasted below there. And we've got the coordinates of all of our units. Now we want to go back to our battle.xml. Sorry, back to our battle.xml, and we want to download this again. Now we want to go back to our downloads folder, and we want to close the historical battle log, and we want to have the battle.xml open here. And you can see if we open this, in the old version, every unit had a position of 0, -50, 0, 21.7, every single unit. Now, they all have their custom position on the battle map. So we'll copy all of this, and we'll paste it over, and we'll save. And then while we're at it, we'll just delete those so we don't get confused. Now, we're going to relaunch the battle. And now you can see all of our units are where we position them. This one is a little bit wonky, but we can do a little bit of trial and error to fix that up if we want to. We can also see that all of our units on the forward are where we wanted them, and all of these guys are where we wanted them. So we've got all of Rohan set up. Now, what do we do about the Isengard units? Well, we'll concede defeat, we'll exit, and we'll go back to our scenario battle generator. Now we'll make sure that we have all of the other units, other armies units here, and down at the bottom it says, do you want to set up the other faction now? And we'll want to click yes. And again, we will want to go to our battle.xml. And now you can see Alliance 0, which remember is the player's alliance. We are now playing as Isengard, and we're now controlling Isengard units. So we want to download the battle.xml again. And again, we want to download the declarations.lua. And we've got both of those open on the left. Now we want to open both of the old ones. Open both of those. We want to grab our battle.xml, override the old one. Sorry, what did I do? Override the old one. Grab our declarations lure, override the old one. Close all of these. And we'll launch the game again. And now you can see we're playing as Isengard. And you can see, if we move a unit over here, we can now see the entire enemy army. Here it is, down here. So let's position all of our units. So I want these 4 guys together, these 4, all of these guys, and all of these guys. So first of all, we want these guys up here in the trees. So let's position them as though they're coming out of the trees, and they've got a unit of crossbows behind them. Our second control group, we want it up ahead. We want these guys like that, and we want the unit of archers behind them. And we'll do the same thing with our third control group. We want these guys behind, and we want that guy there. Now, our fourth control group. These guys are going to be across the river, and they're going to be attacking the ford from the other side. So we want them nice and close. So I'm actually going to put these guys like that. And these guys behind them like that. And now finally, these will be the reinforcements that arrive coming from this road here. So let's just put them all here for now. And we'll put 2 units like that. 2 units like that. Band of archers there. Band of archers there. And some cavalry to screen them. And again, so those are all of our units set up. And now we're just going to click Start Battle. We're going to skip the cutscene, we'll wait a few seconds, and the log will be generated. Now we'll pause, we'll exit back out, and we'll go to our data folder again, Historical Battle Camera Log, and we'll scroll down, and we can see here, this is the most recent one at 3:37 PM. So it's a safe bet that's the one we want. To confirm, we can scroll down and we can see there's 29 units. So that's definitely the one we want. We'll highlight all of these units, go back to our scenario battle generator, and we'll go to unit coordinates again. And this time, we'll put it in the faction 2 column, so just to the left, and copy and paste that in. And now if we go to our battle.xml, you can see that all of the units have the new positions where they should be. So we'll just download that. We will open that up, go to our data folder again, our script folder, battle.xml, and we'll override that, and we'll close both of these. Now we want to concede defeat. And we want to launch the game again. And we can see that all of our units are exactly where we wanted them. We've got the first group of units up here, the second group of units over here, the third group of units here. All of the reinforcements are over here. They're pretty much where we wanted them to be. We might push those guys backwards if we wanted to. And then finally, we've got this big army over here on the other side of the river. And now you're probably wondering, what's preventing these units from attacking each other? For example, if I grab all of my archers, just as an example, and I put them all here, they're all set to toggle fire at will. Let's even grab a few melee guys and put them over here. And we'll just start the battle. Now, you can see... That's not meant to happen. Give me a second. About that. Just another typo in my script. I'm basically making the scripts and improving them as I'm making this YouTube series, and new ideas occur to me. So, we've got all of our missile infantry here, and let's put some melee troops here. Now, all of these units are set to fire at will, so you'd expect them to start attacking. We'll start the battle, however. We'll let the cutscene run, and you can see that none of them are attacking. If you click on them, you can see that fire at will has been turned off. Similarly, none of the Rohan units are attacking either, and all of the units are right next to each other, but no one's engaging in melee. The reason for this is that, sorry, I just closed it. Sorry, I've just got too much shit open. If we go to our commands.lua file, you can see that I've got a script here which grabs all units and turns skirmish behavior off, so that if an archer unit gets too close to another unit, it won't run backwards, turns fire at will off, and also halts the unit, so they won't move anywhere. I'm thinking I'll probably need to delete that for the next episode, but I'll see how I go. It also takes script control of these units so that the AI can't control them at all. And, for example, the computer thinks that I'm controlling the enemy units, so they won't do anything without explicit script commands to do so. And how does the game know who to control? Well, if we go to cutscenes.lua, excuse me, you can see I've created a function here, which ensures that units don't attack each other, melee or ranged, and don't run away due to skirmisher behaviour. And so it disables all S units, enemy all, and all S units, player all, after 1 second. And so what are S units, enemy all, and S units, player all? As we've seen before in declarations.lua, this is the collection of all of these units. All of these units are grouped under the S units player all banner, and all of these units are grouped under the S units enemy all banner. So that's why they're not attacking each other. So for now, we've got all of our units where we want them. If we just restart this, you'll see they'll go back to where they were before. So, we've got all the Isengard units where we want them, we've got all the Rohan units where we want them, except for this unit, which has guerrilla deployment, and that we're probably going to end up deleting. We've got our own custom battle map. The only thing left to do is to make a cutscene, and to disable this script which prevents the units from attacking each other once we're completely happy with how our battle is turning out. So I'll see you next episode, and we'll get onto that. Thanks for watching, and I hope this has been helpful.